Thank you so much. Now that they've already introduced me. Yeah, I remember when he's my husband, so let me say my husband. When he was talking about, do you like the career you're doing? Do you like what you're doing in campus? And some of you, of course, when you look at it, you might feel like, I wish I had not chosen that. But life keeps unfolding, so you don't need to regret. Okay, life keeps unfolding. I remember I did, yes, the chemistry as said. I got first class in chemistry, then I pursued masters in environmental chemistry. Then I went to lecture in the university. I really looked forward to pursue doctorate. When I was graduating for masters, I really envied those who were graduating for their doctorate because they were reading all their names. So I wanted all my names to be read because as they were just reading, I think two. In undergraduate is only one. Then in a master's two. But those ones, they read 3 and you walk there, you shake hands of those big ones. I said, that is what I want. Now when later my husband moved from Nairobi to Dar es Salaam, because of family issues, I was forced to stop what I was doing. So I came here and I first went to the University of Dar es Salaam. I wanted to pursue a doctorate in the same field, environmental chemistry. But they kept on taking me here and there. So I got so much disturbed. Meanwhile, another baby came. Now, hiyo ndio mambo ya familia. You don't know what to do. And it was during that time I remembered the passion that I had, that is counseling. So I said, okay, there is this passion I used to have. What can I do about it? So I started enrolling for online courses. And now I'm here, I'm happy, I'm doing counseling, I've forgotten about chemistry. But I can still go back and teach. The goodness about education is that you can't dump the papers. If the worst goes to the worst, I can still go back and teach, and I can still pursue doctorate. Are we together? So there is really, you don't need to worry, you don't need to feel like I should go back and change. No, it's okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Now let's talk about mental health. Okay. Now, of course, that's just that's why you heard him say that I might need some help. So he has come in very fast. So ladies, you see, you have the right person. You don't even need to say, he knows here there's a problem. So he steps in very fast and solves the problem. Sio ule umeolewa kule nyumbani and a person knocks at night and the man says, enda uone nani amebisha mlango. and he's sleeping. Ukiona mtu kama huyo, anza kutoroka mapema. Now we even of course that's just an introduction, and you see this is all about mental health, things that are going on in our brain. Why are we having trouble? But again, even before we come to talk about mental health, is just to ask yourself, do you think you are mentally healthy? Are you stable? You know, I remember one of my friends is called Mary. During those times when we were in primary school, in those years, of course not the years of Dr. Sokile, we are young, I think in the 80s there. And there was, during that time there was bleaching. Girls, do you know what is bleaching? Bleaching is where you apply, all of us ladies want to be like wazungus, you know. So there was a cream, I think it was a steroid cream from my chemistry knowledge, and the ladies were applying to change their facial appearance. But funnily enough, they never used to see that their hands will still remain dark and their legs. So they're only concentrating on the face. So Mary got that cream and she kept on applying. So you know your face of course will change. But with the time, it started getting wrinkles, like that is our grandmother. So by the time I wasn't a friend to Mary, because in those days, there were no schools for rich people and poor people. All of us used to go to the same schools. So because somehow my family and her family were not the same in the financial status, so we were not interacting so much. When we went to secondary school, we went to the same school. So Mary wasn't performing as I was performing. So of course we became friends because she wanted to learn a few things from me. Then she started telling me, why I don't like my face. What about it? Just look at the way it is. Now after that, she couldn't go back. You couldn't change. You know, once you've used these chemicals, you can't change. They are called permanent reactions. They cannot be reversed. Yeah, that reminds me, the other day I was in the salon and this lady was complaining. She's saying, now look at my face. You know, you find ladies, here has turned red, here is red, you know. And she was saying, I wish I knew. You know, she's telling other ladies in the salon, I wish I knew now. I can't do anything about it. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. That is final. So that is why I'm saying there are several things that go on in our mental, in our brain, and we need to know, what do we do about it? What are these things that this is just the outline? Let's go and talk about our mental health. You know, when you look at these we call it the health triangle, you will see that if physically you are okay, that lady there is doing exercise. If socially you are able to relate with people well, then somehow we can say that you are mentally healthy. When we talk about mental health, it's about how you behave, how you think, what do you think about, you know, your acts, what are people seeing. Now, people are able to interpret that so-and-so is normal. So-and-so, I think there is a problem. By just looking at you, when our eyes meet, I'm able to know that something is troubling you. Yeah, because of how you behave. Maybe you are not talking that day. Maybe you are not eating that day. Then we will be able to look at many of those aspects. The font is a bit small. I hope I could expand it, but well, just still back there, mental health is about your behavior, how you're behaving, your feelings, you know, your physical reaction. How do you react when you find stress? When, you know, stress is something we can't avoid. You know, there are times things are up and down. But when we meet them, how do we tackle them? And we say that a mentally healthy person is somebody who can handle stress and is able to handle stress when it comes, and is able to make sound judgment. You know, and I say that mental health is just a syndrome of symptoms. There are very many of positive feelings and positive functioning in life. You are just positive. You have come across stress, but you are still positive, because life is about challenges. It cannot be smooth. No. There are times it is smooth, there are times it is up, there are times it is down. And towards the end, I say that mental health is a fluid. It takes the shape you give it. If you take water and pour it in a glass, it will take the shape of the glass. If you pour it in a basin, it will take the shape of a basin. So mental health is what you give it. But if your feelings, your thoughts, and your behavior are affected, and people are able to read, then somehow you might be experiencing a mental health disorder, or we call it illness. But we don't come there to say that you are mentally ill if we have not seen some symptoms. So something there I wrote, I'm not so much interested in the diagram, but up there I said, we have people who have mental illness. People can be sick. People can be stressed or depressed or under anxiety. But if they've been taught how to handle stressful conditions, and they are able to handle those situations well, then those people are good. They are mentally ill, but they've been taught that when this happens to you, can you try to do it this way? Then they follow it and they get positive results. We can also have a mentally healthy person, but this person has not been taught that when you encounter this, please try to do this. He or she is mentally well, but because he doesn't know what to do when confronted with a certain situation, he can make a mistake. I know we are together there. Now, this is just the wheel of life. Then I'll just talk about students' life. You see, life is consists about all these things. We can't evade them. Whether we are students, whether we are out of college, we are in employment, you will always talk about money and finance. You can talk. You will talk about career. You will talk about health, community, family. You cannot run away from family the way Pastor was saying here that your brother is bad, your sister is not good, but you cannot break yourself from them. Partners, you're going to be in relationships and love. You want to grow in learning and even your spirituality. Now, it is just around this area where some of us might experience mental health illness if they are not handled well. Now, let's look at the common stressors now that students have. Examination and deadlines. When you just remember exams, you are sick. I remember one of my friends in secondary school, her name is or was and is still Melody. So Melody will get sick and she will literally be taken home. They will do all the tests. Melody is okay. After the exams, she's okay. Now, deadlines, assignments. You realize it is Monday. I have not done the lab reports. And during that time, many of us used to copy lab reports. Even my husband said he used to copy some of them, but now he's okay. So it is Monday, and you realize you have like 5 lab reports you have not written. So what do? Your adrenaline goes up. Returning to study and adjusting to new environment. You've been at home and then now 1 week. Some of these we call them, they are just normal stressors. But if they are not handled well, they can escalate and become something else. Then we have relationships. You've gone to the university, you hear Dr. Sokile was telling us here, those they are called, I don't know what we used to call ours when freshers were coming.
Gold rush.
Gold rush. As we used to call it, gold rush. So when we come, the first years are gold. So the second years, third years, fourth years, fifth years are rushing to take gold. So that's where it came to gold rush. So the first years who are men, they are left stranded because now they are from the village. They even don't know how to talk to girls. So they don't know what to do. But the fourth years are dumping their girlfriends whom they have had for some years. They are running for gold. Yeah. So the doctor said that this is the age of relating. It is the right age. But what some of us do in these relationships, they can cause havoc. You know, you've gotten there. The way he told us that the ladies are leaving their studies and literally going to be somebody's wife. Until the man is reading and you are cooking for him. Me, I can't do that. And that is why my husband said I'm a little bit tough. He knew that I was tough. We were relating with him in the university. In fact, from first year. Some of you will say, hi, how possible is it? Very possible. Because when he came to me and said, I think we can relate, I told him, okay, so what do you want us to do in the relationship? So he said, it's about marriage. When do you want us to get married? He said, after campus. Okay. Now that was over. The relationship had nothing to do with cooking for anyone or sleeping with anyone. No, he said he wanted us to relate, then we get married. It didn't tamper with our education. He couldn't call me when I am in the lab that let's meet in his room. Why? We didn't come to meet in campus. We came to do what? To study. Yeah. So, of course, that's why I got a first class. And he also graduated from the School of Engineering. You are relating, you are working. Some of us also work to earn a living. We have some people who have debts. Because you have a girlfriend, you want to please the girlfriend. Kwa hivyo, you are going to borrow money to feed a human being. And your family is dying. You know, and then there is study here. How do you balance it? You see how it can cause problems? Yeah, and that is why some of us, by the time your parents are coming for graduation, your name is not there. Because there is something that went on there. You got married, you have children, you dropped out, you didn't do some units, you know. You just get into the wrong stuff. It's okay to relate, but if you are not sure of what your priorities are, you can be stressed. Then poor time management. That is on working on assignments, the last minute. Then housing. Doctor said here that we have some people, maybe they are staying at Tegeta and they are studying at DIT. So you are staying very far, it is overcrowded, it is noisy, the people who are surrounding you, maybe their morals are deteriorated. It can affect you. You know, you remember now, I'm going back to that house. That neighbor of mine usually puts a lot of music, but then there is nowhere you're going. You know. Problems at home. Now, these ones, we call them psychotic issues. Why? Because they are past. There are things behind there. Of supporting maybe your relatives financially. Or maybe your parents are having problems. These things, if you carry them to college, they will affect you. Of course, it's good to be concerned, but if you carry them like the way Jesus carried them, you will die. You know, Jesus died on the cross, but the goodness with Jesus is that he resurrected. But for us, if we die, we won't come back to life. So you see that young boy carrying his stress, he's going to die. But the friend is telling, I think he's telling him that, my friend, relax. People are having issues. Even doctor here, he said he has an office at Vodacom. I know some of you are feeling like, I wish I was like him. I'm sure he must be doing a good job. But he has problems. Problems. Only that he has learned how to do what? To manage them. Other things are like abuse, loss and grief, where maybe you have lost a relative or a friend, or somebody is sick. This also can cause mental issues. Maybe somebody is sick, a long-term illness, it can affect us. I dealt there a little longer. Now those are I just wanted to just let us know what is stress. And I say that, you know, these are normal things in campus. And I say that this is normal when handled smartly. But when stress is uncontrolled, then we are now anxious. Anxiety now comes in. So we don't want to get there. We want to handle it at that point and see what next. Now, when we come to anxiety now, you become so nervous. You become so nervous, and you panic. You are panicking because now what is going to happen? What if, you know, let's say it is a lady. You are in a relationship. Now you went and slept. You know, in college, we do dating. Most people do dating. Now, dating is this kind of relationships where you just meet. You don't talk about anything, okay? Just say hi. Then the next you are sleeping together. Now, that is dating. You can imagine. But people who are courting, they take time to ask themselves questions. Okay, who are you? Where do you come from? So how many brothers do you have? So what do you think about finances? What about, you talk about many things, but because our hormones are very active and we meet and we just want to sleep together, then you realize, now this is not the person I wanted. Now, the man is okay. Then the lady goes and realizes, oh, what if I am pregnant? What will I do? Now their panic starts. Okay? Now when you don't manage anxiety now, it goes to what? Depression. I'm telling you, ladies, keep thinking. Now, he has left me. What am I going to do with this child? Will my parents pay my fee? It is a lot. We can stop it. Even if you've gone to the extent of conceiving a child, it is still manageable. Okay? Now we come to depression now. Now that is, anxiety has not been handled. At this point now, your nerves are likely to be affected, and you're going to have depression symptoms maybe for more than 2 weeks. You're seeing some things in you. So that's what we are going to look at, so that you gauge yourself. Am I stressed? Am I anxious? Am I dealing with depression? So other mental related illness are what we call bipolar disorder. These are not very common, but bipolar disorder is where somebody is happy this second. The next second, the person is sad. They are a bit complicated. They are not like stress, anxiety, and depression. The other one is what we call schizophrenia. Now here, the person is very energetic, very energetic. Like sometimes these people who are insane. When you hold them, we can hold them 100 people. And when people experience this, we have something we call, and then the person tells you, mi naona basi inapita hapa. Na unashangaa basi umeona? Sasa when these things are not handled, it is not, na Waafrika wanapenda kusema kaka yangu amerogwa. Many of them hakuna uchawi hapo. In fact, what we say amerogwa, sometimes it is genetic, as in it is flowing from one person of the family to the other. But uchawi, sisi Waafrika hata mtu akifa tu normal tunasema huyu kafanya nini? Karogwa. Na tena kama mwanamume akifa mapema wanasema mke wake akafanya nini? Akamuua. Yani kila kitu tu ameuawa. Jamani, si watu wanakufa tu. Nani kamuua Yesu? Then we have addictive behavior. And people can be addicted to drugs, to alcohol. They can be addicted even to sex. Sisi watuogopi kuongea mambo ya sex. Why? Because all of you here are a product of sex. All of you. Or there is anybody who was thrown from the moon. See, you've done biology. Yeah. So you don't need to fear. All of us here, even including myself. Now, I know of a friend. He is a man. He is a man. This man was addicted to sex. So when he married, he wanted to walk with his wife everywhere. He used to administer anesthesia to patients at night, like maybe somebody is having an operation, they have to call him. So he wants, when he's going to the hospital at night, to carry the wife. Now that one we call it addiction. Munacheka, hii mambo iko. So I stay close to Muhimbili, and I see young men who have been addicted to alcohol and drugs. They are dying. You cannot even, I'm imagining if we are given the picture of this young man when he was born. This was the lovely son in that home. But something happened along the way, and most of the time is peer pressure. Our friends, you know, they come and tell us, at least you've never taken alcohol. Alcohol is nice, it's sweet, it makes you feel high. You say, kweli? Like the way the devil was talking to Eve. We came to Eve and said, what did God say about this Eden? Then Eve said, okay. God said, we should eat the fruit of any tree, but that of the middle we should not eat and we should not touch. The devil knew now. Eve does not know. Because God did not say they should not touch. He only said they should not do what? Eat. The devil knows. Hapa ndio sasa nataka kukaa pale. Akasema, no. God knows very well that when you eat it, you will be knowledgeable. You will know good, and in fact, you will be like God. What? Let me try it, you know. Then, what happened when Eve took it? There's nothing that happened to her. She just looked and said, I'm still alive. Then I'm sure she must have gone and said, kumbe Mungu alikuwa anatudanganya. Mbona mimi nimeonja nini that fruit and I'm okay. Taste it. That is what we friends do to each other. Even those who are in relationships, once they are fallen, they also want you to fall into the same trap. So they tell you, you are not in a relation. You mean you, the way you are big like this, you've never tasted sex. You are a fool. You don't know how that and you say, what? Then you try. You are in trouble. You can be like this man. You know, this man, the wife finally died. But the sad thing is, he did not have feelings for this lady. Towards the end, he married another lady because this lady felt, I cannot meet the demand of this man. They had built a nice house. He chased her out and married another lady. Anyway, that is mental issue. She became mentally ill and she just collapsed one time in her house and they found her dead. She was a good student in the university. Then we have eating disorder now. Now eating disorder, we unakula kila mahali, chooni una chakula. Ukilala kitandani pale umeweka manches pale. Yani you can't do away without food. And then there are ladies also who are saying, I don't want to grow fat. I want just to be thin. At thin people will also die. I am not saying that you become fat, but sometimes we overstress ourselves just to look like some models in the social platform. Say, hey, you saw how her figure looks like, and even that figure will also die. So what I'm trying to say, that there are things that stress us. You know, like some of us who are mothers, when we give birth to children, we become big. Now the problem is we want to be small, but the doctors are telling us we must breastfeed our children for 6 months. So they are telling us to eat. But when we go outside, men and women are telling us, you have grown. So what are we going to do? Mnaona vile wamama tuko na shida. That's why I'm telling ladies to know who are going to marry them. Otherwise, I remember we used to watch something with my husband. There was a man who used to, when the wife is walking, the man shouts from behind that. What did he used to say? The man used to say, beep, beep, big Lord coming, please make way. So, anajaribu kusema kwamba mke wake ni mnene. Kwa hivyo ninyi ambao mko mbele, tengenezeni njia, maana gari kubwa inakuja. No, lakini yeye mwenyewe ungemuona ni pip pip kabisa. Okay, now we talked about anxiety. Let's look at these symptoms to see if you are anxious or you are suffering from anxiety disorder. feeling of panic and fear of uneasiness. You are not just comfortable. You touch this, you are here. You are thinking, you are panicking. Even where you are never comfortable. You can see ladies when they are waiting for let's say, it is getting too late and you want to go home. The people who are usually ever worried are women, because they are thinking of children at home. At that time, the men are seated somewhere eating nyama choma. Then they are calling their wives and tell them, "Mi naona nitachelewa kwenye mkutano, mkachemshe tu hiyo cabbage hapo nyumbani." Lakini not the men who are here. Na sio ule boyfriend wako. But still I don't know how you can cook for a man. I can't do that. I can't. Now, problem sleeping. You either sleep too much or too little. Something is affecting you, but you are not. And most of the time I know it's relationships, especially in the university. These relationships are a problem. At night you wake up, you can count everything on the wall. You count, you are going to the toilet every time, Then you are only thinking about the worst case scenario. I'll try to use the same thing. Now I am pregnant. What will happen? What if I can abort? What will happen if I do an abortion? And sometimes when we are in relationship, the men can even tell you, you use family planning method. Huh? Why not him? Why can't he use the family planning method? Why? Don't say that. Maybe I'm not against men. I'm just saying there is a time when you also should also reason together. Why you? Because I remember when we were in secondary school, we used to be taught on the side effects of, they are called hormonal family planning methods. You can either grow big, you can either grow thin, anything can happen to you. And so when you grow big, again he will say that you are not beautiful. Then he will run to that gold. So you get more stressed, especially for ladies. Men, mostly hii mambo ya relationship inawasumbua tu kama amepata mtu ambaye anapenda pesa. Hiyo tu ndio inaweza kumsumbua. That's the only thing, because he's always thinking, now leo nitaenda kuomba wapi? Ndio nikamnunulie chipsi, mayai. Umeona? That is the only, in fact, what stresses men is money. If they can get money, they are peaceful. But ladies, they get stressed with very, very small things. Now your heartbeat, we call it heart palpitations. You can feel, you can even feel your heartbeat, it's beating very fast. You see, and then you cannot concentrate only for a short time, and your mind is off. In class, you can only concentrate for 10 minutes. The next remaining maybe hour or few minutes, you are off. You are suffering from something we call anxiety disorder. You are avoiding anything. Yani you are avoiding. Somebody is coming this way, you move that way. He's coming that way, you go. I remember one lady, she ever had, I think she had a relationship with somebody, and then that relationship didn't work. I don't know how they threatened each other. She used to tell a colleague, please, we have to walk together up to the bus station. I fear I might meet him. You see, anxiety disorder. Unaogopa mwanadamu. Umeona? Well, let me go back a bit. Now you can just see, you're feeling worthless, hopeless. This should be depression, so that we don't confuse with okay. Well, I want to talk about depression. Now, depression is now the worst. I'm saying it is now after anxiety. You've not been able to manage. It's okay. I'll be able to get it from there. You've not been able to manage anxiety. Now you've gotten to depression. You can see you are feeling hopeless. In fact, this one now is almost the last one. Here now, suicidal thoughts are starting to follow you. I'll talk about it. Then you lose interest in the things you used to enjoy. Now this is depression. You don't want to wake up in the morning. If you remember it is Monday, you don't want to get out of bed. You know. You used to love maybe football, you used to love to go to church, there are things you used to enjoy doing, now you don't want. Withdrawal from friends and family. You don't go to those gatherings, you don't take their calls. They call, can we go to fellowship? No, why? Because the chairman approached you, the chairman of Kasfeta, approached you and even slept with you, because nowadays they sleep with ladies. And the next day you saw him with another lady. You know, and you are saying, kumbe hii ndio kanisa. Hiyo ni kanisa yenu mulitengeneza nyinyi wawili. That is not the church of, please don't blame the church. That is not the church that Jesus left. It is the church of the two of you. Handle your own problems, okay? Yeah. That is why people keep saying, siku hizi kanisa watu wa Amerika. Kanisa liko pale pale. Halijawahi kubadilika, ni sisi tu tumeamua kubadilika na kufurahisha mwili wetu. So you can see that person is oversleeping, the other one there is overeating. That condition we call it bulimia. You know this person eats. Eats. Umeona wale, in fact Americans are among the people who are, they eat too much because there is a lot stress in the US. Some of us say, I want to go to the US. Those people work. It's not like us, because us we can get food cheaply. There, did you know that the price of spinach, which is being sold here at 500 a bunch, okay? It is the same price for that kuku ile. Unaona ile kuku tunapenda ile? In fact, in these developed nations, the rich people eat like the poor people in developing nations. Sisi hatupendi mchicha and vegetables. There it's very expensive. So the only thing the poor people in developing in developed nations can afford ni ile kuku kubwa ile imedungwa antibiotics. Ile wewe ukienda KFC unasema mimi nipatie hiyo paja kubwa hiyo. Ile imejaa antibiotics ndani. Na ile ndio madada wanapenda. Unaona? And you will find they are too big, you know. Somebody is eating pizza, hata pizza tisa. There is one family we were checking, Yani, they can't even move. You know, they can't move. They say, we eat. In this house, we eat. And we love nice things. Ladies wanataka, when you enter in their room, you can see juice, easy cereals juice. I don't even have them in my house. I knocked them out. I do fresh juice. Because these are chemicals. And the lady wants fresh juice. I want crisps. All of these fats, they are dangerous fats. Some of us who've done chemistry, we know what they are. So I am very categorical in my house. My children love wheat, but this time I've decided to punish them. They only take wheat once a week. So if you cannot eat makande and mzuzu ndizi, we umeshiba. Let those who are hungry eat. Yes. Because in fact, I've realized that even men love chips in my eye. You know chips is for ladies. Please, men, try as hard as possible not to eat what? Chips. And ladies, why should you just ask for chips, my eye? It is very cheap. It is very cheap. You even, when you go there, you instead of eating chips, why can't you say, mimi nilete ugali na maini? Ama unaogopa kushika nini? ugali na mkono unajua unataka kushika hivi. A story is told of two, I think they were relating, a lady and a man. I think you must know the story. We were told when we were in the university. So they went to the restaurant, and then the man was asked, "What do you want?" I think he asked for a chicken, some roasted chicken. So this lady also now, because she was new, she was fearful, she was asked, "What about you? What do you want?" She also said the same. Now this man was asked for the chicken. He doesn't know how it is to be eaten. Yeah? So what he did, when he got that chicken and he tried to cut it, he could jump. Yeah? That is how that lady walked, and that how the relationship ended. Kwa hivyo msiende pia wakati mna relate, mnaitisha chakula ambacho hamkijui. Now, you are staying with a friend. You have seen the kind of symptoms we've talked about, and you think, what can I do? Because we can also have support systems amongst ourselves. It is very possible. It could be your brother or your sister or your friend, even your girlfriend, because I know here you have girlfriends. Even if you are not taking them anywhere, you have them. You know. You realize that the next day she has come, she's not talking. Why? Because yesterday she went to the doctor, she did a urine test, and she realized she is pregnant because you've been sleeping together. So she's stressed. She's not happy as the way she has been. So how is she going to tell you that she's pregnant? And are you going to take those news with joy? You are now going to become a father. Yeah? Who is, what I've come to realize is that many of us, before we get married, we only want to enjoy the benefits of sex, but nobody wants to take responsibility of the consequences. So that is why the ladies are either using contraceptives, which can cause them trouble, or they are aborting, and they are dropping from school. This is a problem in the society. What about all of us today who are here? You say, now, I am going to do the right thing. I know I have not been doing the right thing, but I'm going to start doing the right thing. And you tell the lady, listen, I know we've been enjoying sex, but I think it is not right. I know it's difficult, but not only are we causing problems now, look at the society today. We have several single ladies. There's a lot of stress. We are really struggling with a number of things. This happened when we were young. And these boys who are being born, with their single mothers, who is their father there to mentor them? That is why we also have homosexuality now going up. Last year I was counseling a number of clients who came to me. The ones who were boys were struggling with masturbation. So I tried to interrogate them on their family issues. They had no fathers. So when they come to puberty, they struggle with those hormones. They don't know, what is this happening to my body? But they don't have anyone to ask. Then you see media, they start experimenting, and now it happens here with our relationships that have no direction. So that lady comes out, she stops going to college, here is a baby boy, and she grows, and then she starts hating men. Your son is there. Your son is somewhere. You left him at Morogoro. When will you go back to see how he's doing? So for those of us who are in those relationships, it is very possible. If you are born again, I say that the devil did not take part in creating man. Now, anything that happens to you, it's fully in the hands of of God. Now that includes the hormones that are pushing us to sex. Everyone, once you come to maturity, their hormones are crying for sex. But because it's the same God who has created hormones, you can talk to them sincerely. Just tell God, today these hormones, they want sex. And I'm not going to give them. Help me. I can't control them. You see, you've taken the hormones to the owner. He knows what he will do. The only problem is that we never sit to think about it. We think that it is the devil. The devil has not created anything. We push problems to the devil. So he's happy that he's sharing in the creation. Now then, what do you do? Then, so that we can have time for questions. If you realize that maybe somebody is going through anxiety or depression, try to get a quiet place away from people. You can try to take him and say, what is wrong? Please, can you talk? You know. Then encourage them to now go. Because by that time they are breathing. Let me say, you've gone and that man has told you the relationship is over. You know. Or you have checked at your academic paper, you've been given 0.5. There was a day, hey, I thank God for Dr. Sokile, he said something. It was our first year. So we had a cat. We had a cat. And we were supposed to vacate the hostels. So we had a friend. She gave us a contact where she was staying. Now the three of us, I and my two friends, wanted to take our luggage there. We didn't know that in Nairobi, because that was our first time. We thought that a police station is only one in Nairobi. Can you imagine that here in Dar es Salaam, we thought that there is only one police station. So we went and just entered into a certain, there we call it matatu. Here it is daladala. So we entered, and then she kept on calling us, where are you? We told her, we are here. She said, which kind of matatu did you take? We told her, you told us that we should come to the police station. He said, no, that is, in fact, we were going to the east, and she was staying in the west. When we check at the time, the cat. So we dropped there, got another vehicle. Of course, we were able to drop the luggage. Now, on coming back, the jam is starting. Trying to call our friends, no one is picking the phone. We knew the cat has already started. We are in the first year, that is our first exam. You don't know how we panicked. Thank God, by the time we got there, we were sincere to the lecturer. So he gave us the cat. We did, I think I got 10 out of 30. I was so discouraged. Now, those are some of the things that can discourage us. So that is what we say, become non-judgmental. What about if that lecturer told us, I know you are lying to us. You are saying that you are late in the jam. I know you are sleeping with the men. You know, because sometimes somebody, of course, might be sleeping with somebody, but she has a problem. At this time, we don't want to talk about the problem. We want to see how do we help this person so that she doesn't get into depression. You understand? He could be a man. How many men usually feel bad when the relationships break? How many? Let's be sincere. My husband said he had never been in a relationship. He says that I was the first one. I don't know if he's saying the truth. Men, they don't take a long time. They brush it over. I know there are few who really get affected, especially if they truly loved the lady, because most of them, they don't really, they keep thinking, do I really love her hair or her face, but not the whole of her, you know. So when it breaks, they say, wasichana ni wengi. But there are not many. Yeah, there are many, but few can be wives, you know. Yeah, so we don't judge them, and we keep on reassuring them, it will be okay. Yeah, I'm pregnant, it will be okay. You know, you want to work our way out so that this person does not get to a point where she or he is contemplating of suicide. Because we become, especially sisi tumeokoka, tunaweka scripture nyingi, You know, me, I'm born again. At the same time, I'm a counselor. So when you come to me, of course, I will handle you in a counseling way, and then there is a time I will now give you scriptures. Now, when you are in that depression, I do not want to judge you, because I want you first to just accept that it is okay. A mistake happened, but it is okay. We can still pick up ourselves. That is what we want. I'm sure that is also what you want. Yeah, you don't want somebody to, of course you have done something bad, but you want to come out of it. Then you can try to suggest to them that, what do you think, can we go somewhere? Because at that time, that person is feeling so discouraged. Maybe you can say, today we have something in our church, or can we go and watch Yanga and Simba play? You know, you are suggesting something, you know. And then after that, after maybe you have parted ways, keep on checking, keep on calling, SMSing, how are you doing? Did you wake up today? Did you find something to eat? But we were told here in Tanzania, we are that habit is dying, where you want to check on each other. It is an African culture. Let's awaken it again and start checking on each other. Then, and then I've written there, if you see that it is not working, there is a support system in the university. I don't know if it is there. In our university, and I'm sure it should be in many universities, we have student advisors. Yeah. So we used to go there. In fact, I remember when we experienced what we call post-election violence in 2007, 2008, the students were so much affected. So what college did, it provided counselors in every college. So anybody who was affected, they had where to go and talk it out. Those who needed financial help were being given. And I'm sure in all universities, there are advisors there. Look for them. What about in Christian Union? You can, maybe you trust somebody, then you are able to talk. Ask them if they can talk to, can I connect with your mother? What about your father? You are trying to ask them, whom are you comfortable with? What about your pastor? Can I connect you to your pastor's wife or your pastor? You are trying to ask them so that they get somebody whom they are comfortable with to talk with. Then if you see that symptoms are persisting, this person can't be helped, there is nothing working from all this, then you can suggest, can we see a counselor? Then maybe after seeing a counselor, because us in the counseling sector, we say the profession, we do not counsel somebody who is mentally ill. Anybody who is mentally ill now is given to the mental health practitioners. They will know, are you in depression? Do you need antidepressants? Do you need something so that you can come back to normal? In fact, most of the mental issues we have, if they are handled medically, that person is able to go back to the normal life. Very possible, 100%, most of them. So you can go out there and be a counselor to your sister, your mother, you know. Now let's look at what can you do to yourself. What about it is you? What if it is you going through stress? And maybe you don't trust anyone. Maybe you can try exercise, regular exercise, like running, swimming, walking. Then we have mental health exercises. They are like, they say meditation, you know. Yoga, some of you people know yoga, but they say yoga isn't good. I'm just bringing written materials. But we have aerobics, something that will juggle your mind and make it relax. You can listen to soft music, worship music. Those of you who are born again, then wengine wanaweza listen to. Which soft music do you love here? Which is not, it's not gospel, and it is nice. Because most of the gospel I listen to here, it's about love, sijui nikushike, sijui wapi, sijui wapi. And I wonder why all of them move into the same direction. Sebastian, you wanted to suggest something. You know some nice music.
Which song that you...
Which one do you love, which is not gospel?
It's It's Michael Jackson's song called You Are Not Alone.
Yeah. Michael Jackson. You know Michael Jackson? How many of you know Michael Jackson? By the time he died, what did he do to himself? Yes, Daktari told us, just shoot your hand and want to see the confident people. What did he do to himself? Yes, Sebastian.
He changed his face.
He changed his face.
Yeah, he was doing surgeries. Yeah, because he claimed that he had skin problems. So he was doing surgeries every time. Each show, he's going to do surgery to himself, change his hair. So his hair was messed up. In one part of the side was bald. He could not even fight himself from fear. So he was using special medicine called Acupropofol. To keep himself from fear and will make him sleep.
So, what else? Thank you so much. We can clap for Sebastian. That's very good. What else do you think happened to Michael Jackson? Someone else? Because we are learning. You know that story I told you about my friend Mary? She was trying to change her face. You know Michael Jackson was a man. But towards the end, he wanted to change and look like a lady. And you know you are using a lot. See, nowadays you've had in developed nations you can change. You are born a man, then you can change to be a woman. But sincerely speaking, you are still a man. There is nothing that has changed. Even you know yourself that even if I'm a lady, I am a man. Hii education ukisoma sana iko na tatizo. I think that is why it has brought the developed nation. Because sometimes the things they do, surely, how do you just change yourself? Even the cockroaches at home, they have never thought of changing themselves. But a human being is changing. And you are given so many chemicals. You know. But they cannot give them wombs. I don't know if they are capable of doing that. But there are so much in a man that even if you are injecting hormones, he cannot change. And also, the ladies, they are very different. So let us accept how we've been created. A man is unique. A lady is unique. There is just something unique in being a lady and something wonderful in being a man. Just appreciate yourself. Then regular healthy food. So we were there in exercise. Try to do exercise. Try to walk. Kwanza even here in Dar es Salaam here, mnaona watu wanapendanga kukimbia, Wahindi na wazungu, Waafrika wachache. Saa zile wanakimbia, sisi tunakula chipsi mayai. Asubuhi you wake up, you enter into daladala. You go, you sit in class. During lunchtime, you go and eat chips mayai. I wish you could go and learn what is in potato, what is in the fat. Because that fat they use to make chips, it is not new fat every day. Hakuna vile mtu atakuzia chips mayai 2,000, alafu awe anabadilisha mafuta kila siku. Ni hasara. Lazima yale mafuta atumie hata kwa siku 3 ama 4. Baadaye atayatoa, atagawia wengine wale mama mboga, na wao watakupikia nini? Ule ubwabwa na nini? Na maharage. That is why you should go and work hard. Mambo ya relationship, tuende nayo pole pole. Because you can imagine you are starting to have responsibilities early and you can't provide. That is now where the problem is. Kwa hivyo nyinyi mnaenda na your boyfriend mnajaza chemicals kwa mwili. Because wewe unakula chips mayai, yeye pia anakula sijui chips na gizzards. How do we call gizzards in Swahili? Firigisi. Zote zile ni mafuta tu mnajaza kwa tumbo. Alafu hatufanyi mazoezi. Umeona? Kwa hivyo tunakuwa na shida. Sasa hatufanyi mazoezi, tukitoka hapo, we are not doing also homework. We are going to have sex. Surely you don't see we are going to have many problems. Your health has a problem. You've not done homework. You know, you've not done those assignments. You've not been revising. There is a baby coming. How do you handle all this? That is why I told my husband by then, here it is relationship. And thank God he knew. he knew from the word go. In fact, when we were relating, people did not even know we were relating. We used to say, let us meet outside, because these bodies do not know who is born again for 5 years and 10 years. The body is the body. The body of a pastor is the same body of a small boy. They don't change. If you put a man in a room, after speaking in tongues and he turns and sees a lady, he forgets all those tongues and speaks a different thing. In fact, it shows that when people pray a lot, they become even more anointed for anything. So that is why they say, do not think after fasting and praying you are safe. In fact, that is where now demons are looking for you. We had several chairmen and prayer moms. By the time they were leaving university, they had children, They had children. I remember we used to go for morning prayers when we were in the university. And I used to see this young man who was leading praise and worship. They were 2. In fact, they were all praise and worship members. They were staying together, And when they were coming for morning devotion, they were interlocking their hands like this. I wanted to interlock with my husband, but some of you will say your hormones will rise up, so I've decided not to do it. So they used to interlock their hands like this, then walk slowly into the prayer room. We had it, the prayer room had another, at the first floor, I can call it. Then they will go upstairs and pray. So some of us, by that time I was fasting, I was saying, what? You mean these people are walking up here and for prayer, and they are not husband and wife? Hey, I felt bad. I think I must have prayed against them, and after some time their relationship broke. Praise the Lord. Try to make sleep a priority. Now the problem when we are in the university, we do something we call, I don't know, as we used to call to transnight. I don't know how we call it here. Transnight is where it is night, you want to read the whole night. By the time you are going for an exam, you are dozy. You can't even remember anything. So try to make sleep a priority. You cannot watch video the whole night. You cannot be going to events almost towards the end of, towards the night, and then you think you will make it. It is not possible. Myself, I never used to miss Keshas. I also used to go for missions together with my husband. He also used to go. But for me, academics were priority. Now, what did I used to do? When the term starts, I don't postpone notes. In fact, when the lecturer teaches us that day, that very day, I will go and revise, go and do more research on that. I never used to carry notes. So by the time exam is near, in fact, you will never find me in the library. I had read beforehand. I'm waiting for that exam. We used to say, yani nimesoma mpaka nimeiva. Usinika, yani ninachoma, nachomeka. So we used to wait for those exams, and I'm telling you, we used to, with another friend of mine called Carol. In fact, Carol used to tell me, I don't understand how you go for Kesha, you go for missions, but you do well. So we used to do that revision until we know page 36 is written like that. If that lecturer makes a mistake, we can even produce the notes. As in, we could write. You write until you finish the exam early, and you're wondering, what are people still writing? Because we have already finished, and you are still born again. So it is possible. Then try a relaxing activity, set realistic goals and priority, and do not procrastinate. I will do it tomorrow. I will do it tomorrow. I will do it today, and you won't have problems. Then practice gratitude. This is where you learn to say thank you, thank you, thank you. That relationship has failed. This thing has not worked the way you want. It's okay. Thank you. I will pick myself. Then care. That is where I was saying care but not carry. It is good to care but do not carry. It's good to care that so-and-so is going through issues, or home there are issues, but don't carry. Don't carry. They will be heavy on you, you know. And then focus on positivity. Try to focus on things that are positive. Things that are positive. And break the task into smaller portions, something that you are able to handle. Kidogo, kidogo. Ukiona ni kubwa, jaribu kugawa kidogo, kidogo. Then stay connected with people. I think I must be done now. So if you need to see us, you need to see me. You can get me in church here. Yeah. Then sometimes I go to our office here, just opposite Serena, Amani Place. You can get us there. I was just trying to say that if you have student counseling service, try to visit somebody, talk to them. You can also call. You can also call me. I can charge you, but not a lot. And sometimes I might do for you free because you are a student. So you can call if you have an issue. Can I talk to you? I need this advice. I'm willing. I will help you. Now, let's now come to questions now. You have any question regarding mental health issues? Be free. You want to ask any question, even if it is in relationships, just ask. Oh, he wants to add something. You want to add something? Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll just add one thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in terms of mental issues, remember what I started by saying that there are many things that happen around us. There are those things that you have control over. There are those things that you have no control over. Whatever you have control over, and then you're able to deal with it. Whatever you don't have control over, there's basically nothing you can do about it. And I think to me, that's some of the principles that are very important in managing actually your mental aspect of your life, because many times you find people try to actually carry what is beyond them, and this really affects them. You see, if there's something you're able to do about it, please do it. And to me, that's actually a principle that I normally work with. If there's nothing I can do about it, it cannot stress me, period. Even if someone is dying. You get that point? Can you imagine? Even if someone is dying, if there's something you can do about it, do it. If there's nothing you can do, there's nothing you can do, just relax. And you see, and also maybe just to bring the aspect of the Bible. No, they will say, no, by worrying you cannot even add a single day to your life. So I try to see, is there anything that I'm able to do about this thing? No. But also when looking at situations, unfortunately, most of the stress comes when we try to overthink, but on the negative side. I just want to add the positivity part of it. You try to do a lot of analysis. It's like you're doing a thesis, a PhD thesis. But the thesis is about what can go wrong. But if you take the other side, like you do a lot of analysis, but in terms of what can go right. Even it just says, wow, okay. So this is the thing. I don't have school fee, and actually the exam is next week. If I don't pay by, let's say by Friday, I'm not going to sit for exam. Do you have the money? No. So that's where the first step that actually, in terms of dealing with that says, do you have the money? No. Is your parents having the money? If yes, go to them. If no, it means even though there's nothing they can do about it at that time. Are you able to get from someone else? But you see, for example, if it comes that I have to miss an exam, me, this is my principle. As long as I'm still alive, I think it's very important. I know, as long as it is not going to take the life out of me, it can't stress me. Why? Because I know as long as you are alive, you can always start afresh. You can always catch up.
Yes.
Even if you become pregnant, as long as you are still alive,
That's true.
you can give birth to that baby.
Yes.
And after giving birth to the baby, you relax. After 2 years, you pick up, just write a letter to the university. I have become pregnant. I am deferring. I will actually come afterwards. After 2 years, 3 years, come back, pick up. Who knows? There's always the overtaking anointing. Yeah?
Yeah.
And this is the truth. You know, when you look at life, it is not the people with masters and with the first class that are doing well in life.
Yeah.
There's a way God balances life actually. Kuna mtu amechapa disco, amechapa no supplementary, sijui amechapa tena, lakini mwishowe Mungu anamfungulia njia, and then they excel, overtake the first class person.
Yes.
And then say, wow. So what does that tell us? That just remain in tune with God. If you've done something wrong, it's still okay. But as long as you are alive, the only thing you have to ensure is that you stay alive. Praise the Lord.
Amen.
Ensure you stay alive. And that's why anything that can take your life, you ensure you actually handle it very well.
Yes.
Yeah. And in terms of positivity, you know, there's this book I was reading about the power of positive thinking. You know, who has read that book? It's a very powerful book, you know. And I love the story that, you know, this guy is meeting someone and say, actually, if I don't get this business deal, I am done. I'm finished. Then he said, no, are you sure you're done if you don't get this deal? No, just relax first. No, life is not, I think your view is very wrong. No, just relax first. So assuming you don't get it. So do you have a family? Yes. Do they love you? Yes. Do you have children? Yes. Do they love you? Yes. Okay. So step by step, the guy says, actually, it's not the way I thought. Even if I don't get this business deal, I am not done. I'm still going to live. There's another chance. But normally, we tend to think like, if this doesn't happen, we are done. But me, I believe as long as I'm alive, and I normally say this, like now I'm working, I'll give this example, then maybe we go to question. I normally say this, that assuming that something happens now, that I lose my job, have a wife and 4 children, that's a big family, yeah? Yes, 4 children, 11, 9, 3, 4 and 2. A very big family, yeah? So assuming that I lose my job and actually it is impossible to put food on the table. Maybe I have status, I've been working and say, okay. ICT consultant, expatriate. Because, when you come from America, expatriate someone actually is not of that country and you're doing a professional work. But despite that title, that cannot be a hindrance to me to go and start afresh.
That's
no.
True. Yes.
I can still go and start afresh and even work in a photocopying machine for someone for some time to make ends meet. Because as long as I am alive, I know I will pick up, period.
Yes.
No matter the age.
That's true.
So I believe even at the level of a student, nothing is as final as it normally looks.
Yes.
And unfortunately, if something looks that it is final, those are normally actually the chances that start to create stress on people. Yeah? When I was in, our time is up, Okay. When I was in college, I took 6 years in college. I did a course that is taking 5 years. I was doing engineering. In Kenya, engineering takes 5 years. So when I was in second year, I fell sick. Then I stayed for so long in the hospital, but still I said, I cannot miss. The group I started with, imagine I was in the hospital, but what was stressing me in the hospital is not even the sickness that took me there. What was stressing me in the hospital is that I am going to miss that my group. Second year. You mean I'm not going to move with those group up to the final year? That was stressing me. So the first few weeks in gospel, I could tell my friend actually photocopy notes and then you bring, you get it, You bring for me notes in gospel. So I used to get notes in gospel, So after the people have left, then you start reading. But I went, then 2 weeks in gospel, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I say, I think this thing is now a reality. Let me just forget about this thing. Let me forget about study. But even on that, I took about 10 weeks also. But when I left and then I went to the college, I was saying, but then what about, I just go and do the exam. I just ensure that I don't fail so many of them so that I don't get this score. I get supplementary, I do them, then I continue with these guys. That was what I thought. And remember, this is the 11th week. And normally, I'm not sure about here, but in Kenya, normally the semester was 13 weeks. So 11, so 12 and 13 are known for exams. Might be the same or different from here. So now it's 1 week. I want to revise and still I'm not even recovered because I was very weak after actually 2 major operations. I was very weak. So I sat, when it was around Wednesday, I said, no, I think this thing is stressing me for no reason. I just took a piece of paper. I just wrote to the university that I'm not going to do the exam. I defer, period. So I lost 1 year. But I was so peaceful. So, I joined this next group. Then I said, why is it that you don't appear like this is an issue for you that you've lost a year? I said, no. Was there anything I could do about it? No. So why must it stress me? I will not allow. Yeah. Very true. Although it took me time, to integrate with these people. But the point that I was bringing is that there are things that at times stress us, but they are not supposed to stress because we are looking at it's like it is final. I say, no, it's okay. I was 1 year went. Because remember, I told actually I was to marry, we were to marry after. No, I finished at least 2 years ahead of her because I think when I was in third year, she was in first year. So when I finished 2 years ahead of her, at least I worked for 3 years. When she finished maybe 1 year, at least tumetengeneza hela ili nimuoe. Unasikia hiyo? So there are a lot of things in the mix, yeah? But the truth is, I could not allow even that plan to stress me. It doesn't mean that I become, like someone who is careless or carefree. No. You analyze and see what are you able to do. Do it. What is beyond you, please forget about it. And for example, for students, I normally ask, actually, when, for example, someone's being stressed about money. Money is not your responsibility. It's very simple. As a student, money is not your responsibility. School fee is zero responsibility to the student. If you have a parent, not that you don't care, you try and actually help. But it should be zero stress for you. If there's where you can work and get and actually contribute and supplement, please do it. If it is beyond you,
leave it.
And that's why you'll find me that actually I have very little money in the I remember when you just got married, you have like 200 Kenya shillings. That's like 5,000, yeah? So tunaigawa asubuhi. Namwachia half of it, mi pia nitafuta half kama nauli, kwenda kazini kurudi. But it could not stress me. No. I could walk long distance, then go back. Because I knew, this is so temporary. I know, I have not to be here. This is so temporary. And it cannot stress me. If you can do something about it, do it. If you can't,
leave it. Wow.
Yes, I think we'll go to questions.
Wow.
Yeah, but look at positive aspect of things. Everything has got positive. Even your friend ambaye normally when you meet him anakufanya stress yako blood pressure yako inapanda. Sio kama mna marafiki kama hao. Kuna wale ukutana nao blood pressure yako inapanda. Lakini ukitazama vizuri hata huyo rafiki yako kuna positive aspect ya huyo rafiki ambayo inabidi utazame pia na ugundue.
Yeah.
And with that you'll enjoy a stress-free life. I had a taxi person. I had about 2 of them, about 3. One is very efficient. If I need to go to the airport, I know he'll take me, he knows all the route and will reach there. His bei yake iko slightly juu. Kuna mmoja ambaye anapenda gari yake ni safi kabisa, so when I need a very clean car, I'll go for this guy. But it's very slow. Ikifika kwa matuta, ni kama anamurumia gari, ni kama gari ni mgonjwa hivi. Kuna the last person, never in a hurry, bei yake iko chini, can wait for you for 2 hours without asking you extra amount of money. You get it? But ukimwambia aende Ubungo achukue mtu pale, atapotea for 1 hour. Kuna wakati karibu tukosane na with my wife because nilimtuma huyo. Akapotea. 30 minutes anatafutwa. But all these people, why was I mentioning that? There's always the positive part of them.
That's true.
This guy, if I want to go to Kunduchi Beach with the family for the whole day, I'll not go for this one. I'll go for this guy. I can tell you I'll pay less because I know you'll not get lost. Come and pick me here. We'll go with you. Wait for me here. Then we come back. So there are times, there are ways that you need to analyze so that you deal with these stresses. If I need to go to the airport, if I take this guy, I can tell you by the time nafika Tazara, nitashuka nitafute nini boda. Because first, he'll delay 20 minutes atachelewa ila kuchukue. Na hapa atapotea, anapitia Kariakoo, sijui anaingia wapi, no. So may we analyze and see, but mostly the positive aspect of this. And then you find that you are able to manage stress, and also your mental aspect becomes actually very healthy.
Wow.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. Wow. That was very good. That was so good. In fact, for me, sickness is good, but for him being sick, that is how I could be able to get him in college. Kwa hivyo, all things worketh good for those who trust upon the Lord, even sickness. Now, any question? So I think what he has stressed more is prioritize your things. Look at which one is to be done. The first, the second, the third. That which can wait, it can wait. Please, let's have questions. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the chance. My name is Veronica Onyango, and actually we are youth. And a very pointed question.
Yes.
I have been examining the scriptures that you should not stress yourself, and actually to be aware of talking about the relationship. Because we are the youth,
yes.
We are aspiring to have a
family, yes.
So now I don't know. The Bible says never stress yourself until the right time. So I don't know. What is the right time? I am aspiring to join my first year college now, I don't know. What is the right time? Will this, before I get to college, the right time? After I graduate during my first year? And what is there a recommended duration for an incredible courtship to be there? What is there any recommended duration that
for courtship?
For courtship.
Okay.
I think that's.
Thank you. Could we answer that? If kama kuna mwingine ana swali, yes, please. Karibu.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
My name is Anissa. Sorry. I had 2 questions, but the first has been answered by you.
Okay, fine.
But I would like to ask you sincerely at the part of relationship too.
Okay.
Yes, okay, let's assume the right time has come. Get maybe someone to be in a relationship. But we have been told anything that makes us to be stressed, let us leave it aside. Okay, assuming that the fears maybe I've got, she's making me stressed daily. Or how many will I leave aside?
How many relationships you're going to live?
Yes, because maybe every relationship
You're getting stressed.
How many will I leave aside?
Thank you very much. It's good to be sincere. You know, in life, be sincere. And the problem why people don't talk is because we judge them. Yeah, in fact, this is the age, this is the right age, but I will talk about priorities. Any more questions? So that we can answer, because somehow they are related. Any more questions? It can be in academics, it can be in anything, even family issues. Some of us come from families where our parents are fighting and abusing each other. Sometimes it can affect you. But as he said, if there is anything you can do about it, well and good. If there is nothing you can do about it, those are your parents. Let them fight and then let them talk later. The only thing you do, you pray that they don't kill each other. That's all. But they know how to solve their issues. Any more questions before we answer these ones? Okay, if another one comes up, you're free until maybe Pastor tells us the time is gone. So let's start with our brother whose question was, what is the right age? You know, what is the right time for a relationship? And how long should a courtship take? Now, when I started, I said, most of us do dating. We don't court. Now, dating is where I say this boyfriend and girlfriend. This is where, when we meet, we don't talk about anything. We never discuss about anything. We never explore. We are only boyfriend and girlfriend because of sex, period. So such relationships, they are only being sustained with what? Sex. Nothing can sustain that relationship. If sex is not being given, that relationship dies. So that is why the lady is worried that if today I don't go to that boy, the relationship will end because it's dating. But I will talk about courtship, then we'll talk about the right time. Now, courtship is where, yes, somebody has approached you. Now, for those of us who are born again or who are saved, they will want to ask themselves, is it the right person? Now, is it the right time? The one that my brother was saying, how many will I be sending? Is it the right person? Is it the right time? Who do I want? I remember my husband said he used to have a list. Most men have qualities which they want to see in ladies. But then the research says that you can't find a perfect person. At least the person might have some percent, and then they might fall short of that percentage. So they can be saying, maybe I want, those who are born again, maybe they'll say priority number 1, she's saved. Okay? Priority number 2, maybe they will look at color. Men love brown ladies. Not all men, but several. That's why ladies want to bleach to please the men. Maybe they will look at height, okay? Maybe others will look at figure. They don't want one who has figure 11. They want figure 8. It is true, you cannot marry somebody you are not proud about. Or somebody can come and tell you that God told me you'll be my wife. God told him. This mambo mara nyingi hakunanga ati sijui Mungu alikwambia. It is just feelings that connect. Mambo ya kuweka Mungu huko, and then when it breaks unauliza na huyo Mungu alikuambia wapi? Sasa tusitangulizange Mungu haraka. Unaweza sema pengine ulinipikia leo chakula kizuri. That is why ni chakula inaongea, sio Mungu. Now, what I am saying is that now courtship goes into details. You now are interested, you have, maybe somebody has approached you and you've looked, it is the right time. It is the right person. Now, let me take for example for myself. Maybe you could wonder how come they were relating from first year? And how come they managed? We managed. We didn't sleep together. We didn't do anything. He can come and testify. Even if you go and look for all our friends. Now, for me, when we were in that small church, now let me talk about my case. When we were in that small church, those ladies used to tell us, you must pray for your life partner. I don't know if you are ever told. Now, they kept us praying for that thing. Those ladies now say, our mama pastors, and we used to go to those fellowships. It's not like nowadays. If you call ladies for mambo ya wa mama, they say, hey, wanaenda kutuambia sijui msivae hivi, sijui munavaa vitu fupi fupi atuende. As we used to go. So, I really used to pray for this thing. I used to tell God, I don't want a man like this. The one thing I didn't want a man from our tribe. So that was number one. Because the men, I don't want to tell you my tribe, the men from our tribe, they cannot handle anger. They are very angry, a majority of them, and they like beating women. So I didn't want to be beaten. So I said, from this tribe, I don't. Number one. Number two, I don't want this. So there were a number of things I was checking. But I also told God, I'm not interested with riches. Because we can be rich. He was saying he used to live 100, he goes with 100. It is okay, because I knew if we are people of the right character, we can get money anywhere, anytime. So, before I went to the university, there was this man. I've always said, so my husband is not jealous. I've always said several times. So there was this man who used to play the keyboard in our church. But sincerely speaking, I was born again, and I am born again. So, even in high school, I had never been in a relationship. I used to say, hey, these people wasting my time. Until the men are writing, you know, during that time, in our time, it was letters. So, boys will send letters from this school to the other school. So, boys used to write to girls that anytime I think about you, I don't eat, I don't sleep. In fact, others even used to say that I don't take a shower. I said, hey. So we used to ask this lady, how do you relate with somebody who doesn't take a shower? You know. So by the time this keyboard, the person playing keyboard, I was going to first year. And he came. And the way I'm tough like that, he came and said, I said, it's okay. Okay. So me there in the university. But sincerely praying, always, every day when I could go for prayers, I used to mention this thing. So I used to tell God, even if I have accepted this relationship, please keep confirming if it is the right one. So, and I was open-minded. I'm telling you, God is good. He used to confirm it. So one time, one lady from our church comes to Nairobi, and she chooses to visit me, And then this man calls. He doesn't know that we are with this lady. He calls, then he calls this lady. And I listen to their conversation, and I say, okay. Then he calls me again. I pretend I did not hear. Then I didn't even react, the Vero in me. When the semester ended, there I am. When he approached me, I was in that relationship. In fact, he didn't say that he loves me. He kept on coming, but I sensed what he wanted. So I am the one who told him, I know why you are coming to my room. By the way, I am in a relationship. Ask him. I was very sincere. And I told him, please look for someone so that you don't waste time. And he said, it's okay. So I walked to the house of that man. This Vero you see like this. This was person who has finished campus is working. And I went to him, I said, listen, it is done. Sio wale, unajua wanaume ndio wanapenda kusema relationship yetu round hii ilikuwa mimi. So I went and told him, no, it's over. I didn't even mention that lady. No. In fact, I don't think even he ever knew that I listened to that conversation. And that is how it was over. So I came back and continually praying for this thing. So when this brother came, I said, okay. And I went also to prayer. I was praying for this thing. He was a leader in the Christian Union. And during that time, I don't know how we do it in the universities here, but there we used to have teachers who will teach us these things. So one time, I remember one particular lady, she's called Rebecca. Rebecca used to tell us, if you are born again and you are relating like the people of this world, unamwaibisha Yesu. So we were very, very careful on how we were handling ourselves. Nobody will know you are relating. Nobody will know. We used to handle, in fact, hugging, we will not hug. That is number one. We will not, even him, I just used to say, praise the Lord. Yes. Very true. This mambo ya kukua rahisi kupeana mwili. No way. I will not do it. Because he will take advantage of me. He's going to touch my breast and feel nice. I was not so generous like that. Now, somebody has come. Do you really ask God if it is the right person? If you are born again. Now, kwa wale hawajaokoka, they have their things they check. And we have people who are not born again. And they have very good relationships and very good marriages. Yet we have born again people. Hey! So what happens? There is no duration. The only thing that makes people relate for long is when they know what they want, so that they don't mix. For us, it was easy because everybody was totally concentrating on what brought them to campus. He didn't know what brought me there. My parents brought me to study, not to wash for him and sleep with him. His parents also brought him to campus so that he can go to. So when you know what you need, you pursue, she pursues. Okay. Continue with your relationship with God, ministry with God. Continue just remaining faithful in that relationship. That is one aspect. Another two, the second aspect. Ask yourself, if today we enter into a relationship, which kind of a family do I want? Do you think by I starting a relationship and peradventure our emotions, you know, these hormones, I told you, inaweza kuzidi mtu yeyote. What if a baby comes? You want to ask yourself, let's not even put the Bible. You want to ask yourself, is this the kind of family I want? When Ken approached me, he told me, I want a model family. I don't know what model meant to his brain. Now, what kind of family, when you look at a family, what do you want to see? That should also be key. So that when you are entering this relationship, is that the kind of family you are seeing by entering into it? Maybe I want to stay in that, maybe I want to stay in Oyster Bay. Am I capable to be there? I want this kind of a car. Will I be there? I want my children to go to this kind of school. Will I be there? So those are the things we usually think about before jumping and starting to sleep together. For me, relationship has no problem. Even if you want to take a longer period, has no problem. The only problem is we usually rush to the things that are not important. That is why if you don't rush and you can see something bad in that friend and you are able to talk about it. Talk about it. So when we are talking about courtship and the length of courtship, is the challenge is maybe you finished university, the man. For the lady, she has not. Now, you who has finished is either going to help this lady to finish or you are going to make her not to finish. What are you going to do? Every time, what do you communicate when you call? Now, if you start telling this lady, you are so beautiful, she's not going to concentrate. And this is the wife you want. Now, those are the things we avoided when we were in college. we tried the best we can to talk about education. How are your classes today? You just talk about it freely. Today we went here. So we tried not to bring the romance at a very early stage. Now the problem is we bring romance issues early. So these ones, they remove us from the real cause. So your question is relating and no. Just take your time, and everybody who can take their time and treat each other with respect. Whether you are relating, but always treat each other with respect. You will not hurt. I know you want to add something.
Yeah, maybe thanks so much. I'll just add a quick one, I think, on his. In terms of the duration, I think it's boiled down to the plans that you have. Why do you want to start a relationship? I think let's start from there. Praise God.
Amen.
Kwa nini unataka kuanza mahusiano? I think that's really the bottom line. Kwa sababu kwa mfano mtu ambaye anaanza mwaka wa kwanza university or college, you have a very long way to go. Especially for us men, because the truth be told, as a man, you are the leader. Na lazima uonyeshe nini? Uongozi. And the only way is you have to be able to take care of a family by the time you are getting into a serious relationship. So unapoanza mwaka wa kwanza, tuseme utachukua miaka 4, then let's assume you'll be stable maybe after another 2 years. Because it fluctuates.
Yes.
So unapoangalia haya yote, it needs to guide you because there's also wisdom. So this needs to guide you. But if God puts in your heart actually that this is the right person, wakati unaanza mwaka wa kwanza, then the question is, how do you want to handle your relationship mpaka ufike salama? And that's what she was saying about romantic issues. You cannot handle them for 4 or 5 years na bado baki salama. Haiwezekani. So if you have to take 5 years or 6 or even 8, it means if you're taking 8, then it means for the 6 years you're going to handle issues which are not romantic at all. Goals in career, study, job, all those things, everything which is not romantic, you cannot handle that for a very long time. Now, watu ambao wamejaribu, and I saw this in college, there are people that are seen straight away, no, these people are going nowhere. They start, mwaka wa kwanza, they are very close. And then you say, huyu atamaliza miaka 4, no way. Because normally, a relationship actually in a graduate. Unaona? It graduates. And normally there are things when you introduce them, then you need to go to the next step. So when you reach romance, then the next step actually is sex. And that's why the people who start, and because the hormones and everything is awoken, then bado wana muda mrefu, there are only 2 options. They have sex ama wanachana. Yes.
That's true.
If you introduce romance and you have a long period, there are only 2 options. Mnaachana ama mnalala pamoja. Na ukiona watu wameanza na romance sana na wamekaa miaka 5, au wamekuwa wakionjana kabisa, because it means they're already getting to the next level. So they're like just husband and wife, they're just waiting for pastor to come and maybe just declare, or when they can declare this husband and wife. So that's very key. The duration doesn't matter, but you must be ready. And ready is, as a man, you must be ready. And I love what my pastor used to tell us in Nairobi. That is, the only way you can know that a man is ready is, how do you handle ladies around you? Jinsi unavyo treat wasichana ambao wako around you shows whether you are ready or not, whether you're mature or not. With that respect and the dignity and that honor, it will just show straight away that huyu bado ni mtoto. Huyu akichukua msichana mtu atakuwa anamtesa tu bure. But the people that are mature, and I can tell you when they are mature, you'll just see the way they carry themselves, when they meet a lady, that respect is always there. Watu kama hao hawatakuwa wanaruka tu kifua ya kila msichana, no. Yani matiti ambayo imepita hapa kwake ni karibu sijui 100, no. Kila msichana hivi, kila msichana hivi. Na akimkamata hivi, anataka kaa dakika moja aongee hivi. Wala swe. As a lady ukiruhusu mvulana kae hapo hivyo kwa dakika moja, amemaliza. You get it? Yes. You might have not tried actually the actual sex, but hapo amemaliza kabisa. Eh? Yani you've eased those feelings, ni kama amelala na wewe although mlikuwa mmevaa nguo. So how you carry yourself also determines that you're mature. True. But if you are ready, you can start if you get the right person. Yes, and on the way also you might think you got the right person. Then mnapoendelea, there are fundamental issues that come up. Vile alikuwa nasema that kama na kustress. When we started relating, this was a principle. And me, hii ilikuwa principle tulipoanza mahusiano. She needs a husband, I need a wife. No one is doing anyone a favor in this relationship. Period.
Yeah.
And it was as black and white. Kama kuna wakati anahisi ananifanyia favor, tunajana tu because me I don't need anyone to do me a favor. I need someone who needs a wife. I need a husband. Me, I need a wife. So I also need someone who needs a husband. And when we start, everyone needs to play their part. There's no one who is actually doing anyone a favor. I show the leadership. I need to guide the process. But haisikuwa namvuta ni kama ananifanyia nini? Favor. So kama unapata, it doesn't mean that any small challenge then unakimbia. No. That's not leadership. Leadership is where actually you also guide. But kuna pale ambapo unaona huyu unamvuta, hii mzigo umebeba. Yani unasema hii kama ni kubeba hivi miaka yote haiwezekani. Hiyo achana nayo.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Praise the Lord. Amen. Hiyo unafanya nini? Achana nayo. But the true test is that someone who is able to face a challenge, but they are committed to finding a solution.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can be the other way. What if the man is the one anakustress?
Anakustress? The same. One is way. Kwanza if he cannot show direction, actually achana na huyo atakusumbua. A man must show what? Leadership and direction. Unapokaa na yeye, anakwambia hata anaona maono gani, hata kama hana, anakupeleka wapi? Bwana siwe. Mwanaume ambaye hata hawezi kuambia jamani, mimi naona tukienda kule. Sasa huyo anakupeleka wapi? I don't want to get my point.
Yeah.
Because men, we have the responsibility. When you say yes, I need to actually, me as a man, this is the kind of family ambayo natarajia. We start discussing. Natarajia hivi, we start discussing. I also get input. Yeah? Tunajadiliana, we discuss. There are places where maybe analeta side yake, we reach a consensus. Si kama nilipata vizuri. But leadership inatoka kwa mwanaume.
Yeah, that's true.
Period.
That's true.
In all process, I can tell you, if you find a man when you unamuongoza hivi, jamani hapo utateseka. Itafika wakati wa dini kulipa fee ya watoto. Yaani yeye yupo kabisa, sio ndio ulianza. Na kwanza wasichana ukipata mtu ambaye aonyeshi direction. Acha nikwambie. The sasa is waiting for you. If ukiamua kubeba hiyo mzigo, kuwa tayari kubeba mpaka mwisho. Lakini changamoto kwa katikati itakuwa mzito zaidi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. I hope we have been able to answer the questions. Let me just expand as I finish, then we will let Pastor take over. The problem we have today, and I want to encourage you men, I want to say this, men, you're very unique. Maybe you've never heard that. Pengine hamjawahi kuambiwa kwamba you're very unique. Now the devil is taking advantage of your uniqueness and making you to step down. The ladies are coming in very fast Because the ladies can get education and they can do anything. They can do housework, they can do salon work, they can cook and sell. But the men, they have few, let's say, side careers that their eyes can't see. So I was telling one gentleman, I don't know if he's around, I think he has already gone. I told him, this is where you are thinking, yes, you are training to be a doctor, but can I get land? Can I get cheap land? Can I build simple houses there and start getting rent? You want to start thinking, because these ladies are starting to step on men, and that is why they are saying marriages aren't working. Marriages are working, only that the men have forgotten they are unique and special. So I want you to live here, men, knowing that you people are very unique, and we ladies really look upon you. We really look upon you. So leave this place and take the mantle of leadership. Lead, just lead. If you can't lead that lady, drop her, because you are going to have problems when it comes to marriage. That is when now you will say, me, my wife anisikilizi, ninaenda kuoa mtu mwingine. It is because she was ahead of you, and you even saw it earlier. You are only just struggling. I just want to encourage you, men. Don't let your strength down. You're very important. You're very, very important. I keep saying, angalieni hapa nje, gari ikikwama hapa nje, uchukue wa mama 10 wale wamenenepa, hawata sukuma hilo gari. Tafuta wavulana wadogo, sio umri wenu. Just small boys, 10 years and 11, they will push that car. Yet sisi ladies, tumeenda kudanganywa kule, tunaambiwa we can do what men can do and we can do it better. It is okay. If you are able to do what a man can do and do it better, it's okay. But let us say men are men and ladies are ladies. We don't need to go and be proud that I have done this. No, it's okay. Even a man can change a baby. Do they go and say, oh, me, have you ever heard men say that we can do what ladies can do and do it better? They don't do that. It is us ladies who have problems, because they also change the children, they can feed them, but they don't go around saying, at me, I changed my baby. No. That should tell us that as ladies, we are the ones who should just accept that, yes, we can be smart, but men are men and ladies are ladies. We are special. We need each other. So let's pick each other's qualities. Let the men have those qualities and the ladies have those qualities. Let us compliment. Let us appreciate. Any more questions? Yes, Sebastian.
Is it possible to live without a wife, just you, yourself?
It is.
It is.
It is. But you must be able to be sure that you don't want to marry. Yeah, it is possible, because Paul says that there are those who've been born and they have been given that grace. They've been given that grace to remain that way. There are those who've been made by men, okay? You know, they've been made, the situation have trained them and they can do it. There are those who have made themselves to be. So it is very possible you can reach that stage and you're still a good brother and you love sisters, but you feel you don't have grace for marriage. Not that you hate them, not that maybe a relationship broke and you say, me, I don't want to get married. No, that one now you are reacting. But you can feel in yourself that I am fully sold to God. I want to serve God. It is very possible. I hope I've answered your question. I hope you are not saying you want to not to get married. Okay. Any more so we can close it? The last one? Okay. Let's take the last one.
I'm sorry. I confirm kwenye qualities. Should I go and try, or should I just write kwamba nataka mausi, I mean,
in qualities you write down. You write down. Kila mtu anajua anachokitaka, si ndio? Kila mtu anajua, hata hapa ndani kila mtu anajua. Kwa hivyo unaandika tu, lakini tulisema kwamba kuna uwezekano hautampata mtu ambaye ana hizo qualities zote. Lakini at least ambaye ana fall kwa your best qualities. na usiwe na haraka kwenda kumwambia mtu kwamba unampenda lakini hauko sure. These things usually confirm. Take your time. Wakati mwingine ni kuimba tu, ameimba na wewe ukapenda sauti, hapo unaoa sauti. Ama mwingine kanini kahubiri ukapenda jinsi watu waliokoka wengi, wewe unasema hapana. Ile anointing ikifika kwa nyumba sio anointing tena, ile ilikuwa tu anointing kwa pulpit. Mtu mwenyewe ndio huyo. Kwa hivyo be very sure that you are not marrying anointing, you are not marrying career, you are not marrying a figure, okay? You are not marrying a tribe. You are marrying a husband, you are marrying a wife. Hivi vitu vingine aside. I hope I've been able to answer you.
Yeah,
yes.
but maybe just one thing. In terms of
then,
you must have the...
Then you will
Then welcome, Pastor.
yes.
Sorry, thanks so much.
Yes.
You must have, may I believe everyone, if you list the quality that you're looking for, I can assure you 100% that you'll not get someone that has got all those qualities. Shikana unipata. Hutapata mtu ambaye ana hizo viegezo 100%. So you must be aware from the beginning. Lakini you must have the non-negotiable ones. Shikana unipata.
Yes.
There is the bare minimum. Ambao kwa mtu ambaye mwokoka, the bare minimum ni mtu ambaye ana hofu ya Mungu. I think to me that's bare minimum, that everything else I can negotiate, lakini pale I can't, kwa sababu bima yako katika maisha ya ndoa ni uhusiano kati ya yule ambao unaoa na Mungu wake. That is the only insurance you have. Actually, as long as I know that she cannot go against God, because I know how much she fears God, I am covered. Sasa mimi ni nani? Mimi she can easily go against me. Yeah, very easily. But my protection ni hofu ya Mungu ambayo iko ndani yake. Hiyo ndio usalama ambao mimi niko nayo. I don't know whether you are whatever you're looking for, lakini mimi that was the bare minimum. Ili ninapopata mtu napata anacheza pale, hiyo namwacha because najua sina insurance. I don't know your insurance, but my insurance is the fear of God in her. Because I know come rain, come sunshine, she cannot go against God. And I know me, I'm covered there. Bwana sifiwe.
Amen.
Yes, so you must have the bare minimum. The others is okay. You may want, ile color nini, then mwisho unapata yule ambaye Mungu anakuletea may not actually be the right person. And mostly what happened is that Mungu analeta mtu wakati unashughulika na vitu vyako na vitu vya Mungu, and then it just drops. Mara nyingi shida inakuwa pale ambapo ukiamua kuwa sasa mimi natafuta mwenza, I can tell you you'll end up with the wrong person.
Yeah.
But pale ambapo you sell yourself, if it is studying or work, you do it very well. If it is serving God, you serve God diligently. In the process of serving God, you'll find God will bring people that you meet. In the process, God will actually bring something, then will just drop in your heart that actually, I think this is the right person. So that's another secret. Lakini ukitaka kuwa mimi sasa mwaka huu lazima nipate mtu, I can tell you. Utaokota tu mtu alafu kufika pale mnapigana ngumi na mnachanya. Bwana asifiwe. Yeah, welcome pastor.